Hi, everybody. I am really excited to do this training with you today on social media. Now, why a social media profile training? Don't you build websites? Yes, I do. My name is Megan Good, and I am the head designer at Geeky Girls Website Design. And I do focus mainly on building websites for people, especially startups and people who don't want to spend the time learning how to build a website when they really need to be building their business. So that's what I like to take on and I like to do. But I really feel that social media is part of your website plan. And so you need to incorporate that in to any business that you pursue in building a strong social media presence as well. That's how you can help drive traffic, especially as you're getting started and your rankings are going to be terrible. You really need to drive traffic to your site until you build credibility with your website rankings. And once you've drove traffic for a while, then your rankings will start to improve. I was looking at a website that I had done a couple years ago, and they're now on the first page because of things we implemented way back then to start building that authority and building links and doing the SEO. But part of driving traffic in the meantime was social media. Hey, Daniel, glad you're here. So we're going to really get into social media platforms and what they can do and how you can take better advantage of all the different things that there are out there for you. We're going to focus mainly today on Instagram as well as Facebook. With Instagram, there's not a lot that you can do. There's just a few things, but Facebook, there is a lot that you can do. If we have time, I've planned about an hour for this training. And if we have enough time, we can ask questions and do all that as well. But we're going to start with a few tips. So I see Daniel and Amanda are on, and you guys are both entrepreneurs of one. And as entrepreneurs of one, it's really important that you don't overextend yourself. If you are trying to be on every platform and be everything to everybody, you're going to have a really hard time balancing actually making sales or actually getting the work done or actually doing the things that are most important for you in your business, which isn't always social media. As a team of one, I would definitely recommend that you choose one platform that on social media that you can actually dominate. Look and see where your strengths are. Look and see where the people that you want to be customers are, and dominate that platform for 1 year. So after 1 year and you've dominated that platform, you've done everything you can and you're getting interaction and engagement, then move on to another platform. For businesses that are product-based businesses, I would say, you should really think about being on Instagram and YouTube more than any other platform. Facebook is starting to get more people looking for products, but when people are on Facebook, they don't want to be sold to. They just want to see something cool from their friend. And so it's really hard to sell things on Facebook that are physical products. People don't want to be taken somewhere else. But on YouTube, you can demonstrate your products. You can demonstrate how to make something. You can demonstrate how to do something. So I think both of you could be great on YouTube because of your businesses. Daniel, people are going to go on YouTube to actually learn how to play the piano or to learn to play another instrument. So you could be really successful there, better, I think, than even on Facebook. With Amanda, you do crochet, and with crochet, people are going on YouTube to find those patterns. They're going on YouTube to learn how to make something, and you could dominate on YouTube. And I know you think there's a lot of competition, but if you name your feeds correctly, your videos, you will be able to rank really high. And after enough people watch that, you're going to get really high in the search rankings, especially if you do a good job of it. So those are great platforms for you. For people that are more service-based businesses, actual brick and mortar stores, things like that, I would definitely recommend you're on LinkedIn and Facebook. on Instagram, you may or may not get traction. It depends on what you sell, what you do. Facebook is probably your better option as far as getting eyes on things, but LinkedIn is where you're going to start networking. So keep that in mind. And when you are doing social media, you need to really think like a mad scientist. And this is something that Todd Herman taught us the other day. So if you think like a mad scientist as you're doing your social media, you're not going to be afraid to try something new. You're going to think about the outcome that you want, and you're going to do test after test after test, trying to figure out what's going to take you towards that perfect formula faster. And as you test like a mad scientist until you get it right, you are going to learn what works and what doesn't and how to get that engagement. And that's the most important thing. I was talking to a friend in business, and he works with influencers, and he said he's finding that people with smaller audiences actually have better engagement than the people with 90,000 followers. And so just the percentages were so different with different sized audiences. So don't worry about the numbers as much as you want to worry about the engagement. Okay. So let's see. I think I've gone over everything else. And also the last thing is just stop trying to sell everybody something all the time. Try to give them value, give them a training, give them something of value rather than always trying to sell them something. If you always have ads, always have something you want to take them to buy, people are going to start to tune you out. So every once in a while, it's okay to sell, but mostly you want to engage and keep people keep yourself at the front of people's minds as the brand to follow. And so those are the things that you want to do more often than anything else. Think about what you do on Facebook. Do you ignore the ads? I do. I start to tune them out. And so I love when people engage. I did a post the other day about my grass in the front yard and how it reminded me of marketing. That was one of the best posts I've had in a long time, with just the engagement. I had a lot of shares on that. You know, think outside of the box and don't always be trying to sell someone. All right. So are you guys ready? Do you have your accounts? Thanks, Brianne. Do you guys have your accounts open? I hope you have your Instagram account open, and I hope you have your Facebook account open so that you can do these things along with me, okay? So I'm going to start sharing my screen, and we're going to go through some things. Oh, first, I want to say thank you to my sister-in-law and her business partner, Becky and Paula Sell Homes. They are a local real estate agency team, and they are gracious enough to let me use their social media pages to show you guys how to improve them even better. So they are working on building their following and doing a great job, but there's a few things that they can do. And so I want to walk you through that today. So we're going to start with Instagram. And let me just get over there and share my screen. Can you guys all see that? I hope so. So Becky and Paula, they're a local real estate team, and they have been working really hard, and they've been doing a lot of posts and building their following. They do a lot of videos, and they found some success with that. But there's a few things that you'll notice they don't have a lot going on for them up here in the profile area. And so we could really improve that. Another thing to keep in mind is over here, they have a different profile picture than they do here. While it's a similar picture to their cover, when people go to a different platform and they see a different picture as your profile picture, they might not recognize you. So I really recommend that you try to keep the same profile picture from platform to platform so that people can get that brand recognition. That's really what you want. You want to build that loyal following. And so that's one thing that you could do. Also, if any of you just have a short bio, they don't really have a bio at all. It's just their name. I really recommend you change that. Don't have such a short bio that nobody knows what you do, where you are, and anything like that. And then they do have a link out to their website, which is great, but I'm going to show you guys a way that you can add more value and more links to this one link that you get for Instagram. With one link, you've really got to make it count. And so I'm going to show you a little trick you might have seen on other people's sites, and you wonder, how did they do that? We'll go over that. So let's start with editing this profile. So you just come up here and you edit. We're going to edit the profile photo first, and we are going to put their new picture in. And this is going to, again, give them some brand recognition from platform to platform. They're going to start to see Becky and Paula's face, and they are going to be able to see from platform to platform, that's the same realtors, and they are so good, and I love their videos and all of that. So you want to have that. Usernames, you want to make sure your usernames are the same, and right now theirs are not. So unfortunately, they just got some business cards, and we didn't catch this before, but so we have to leave it. But make sure your usernames are the same from platform to platform, so that when people tag you, they know what to put, no matter where they are. And then they do have a website here, and they've got a bio, but they don't have anything on their bio. So let's put in a bio for them. And with Instagram, you need to be strategic about it. You don't have a lot of space to actually put anything. So you got to be really careful about putting the right information in your bio. So you can do hashtags. I don't know if you knew that, but hashtags are a great way to add information to your bio and be found when people are searching for those hashtags. We put hashtag Becky and Paula sell homes because if people tag them, they can do that. If they buy a house and they want to tag that photo with Becky and Paula sell homes, they can do that. And then AZ Realtor, because they are realtors in Arizona. We also did decide to put some emojis in, and the reason for emojis, and I'm not a big emoji fan, but they do draw your eye. So let me show you some examples of this. So let's go to Sarah Johnston. So Sarah is another realtor, and I want you to look at this one, and then I want you to look at this one. So Daniel, are you confused on why you would have the same username? If you are, the big thing about that is when people have one name for their business page on one platform and a completely different name on another platform, people start to get confused. Are you the same person? Are you the same business? You really want to try to keep it as uniform as you possibly can. Don't confuse people. If you're on one platform, be the purple realtor there. If you're on another, be the purple realtor there. So I want you guys to look at this this contract. We've got Mike Sherrod. He is known as the purple realtor. He's got a purple car, and he uses purple in his brand a lot. And he has some breakup with emojis on his bio here. And to me, my eye gets drawn to her pictures first, not her bio. But here, my eye gets pulled up here because there's some color and there's some breakup in the text. And so you really need to think about that, how our brains work, and our brains are going to look where we see color. So make sure you do some emojis in your bio of some sort. So we've got Arizona's Best Realtor team because we are in Arizona, and we want people to know that if they're trying to buy a home in Arizona, they can come to Becky and Paula. They are intent on you having an unforgettably smooth home buying and selling experience. And they are with Omni Nuvo Realty, so we have to put that in. It's important that they tell who their brokerage is. So those are some things that we can do It is annoying when people are on one platform and you can't find them, and you go to another, you can't find them, but on one it's totally different. It's crazy. So try to name things the same. It makes so much sense. All right, so we're going to save this here. And as we submit, it should update in a second. And let's go over and double check it now. And it's giving me a problem. Give me 1 second. 150 characters or fewer. Okay, so this is where you got to be careful what you do. You got to be really strategic. And we're going to test it with different characters to see what's most important for us to keep. Okay, so Arizona Realtor, that's a big hashtag that people use, and so we want to use that more than, say, Becky and Paula Sell Homes. So we can have people just do a custom hashtag for that, and they'll learn to do that. But that is saved. We've got a house, we've got a key, and that's going to help show off their bio better. So as we refresh, you'll see that now. And we're actually drawn here. So the next thing that we're going to do is actually work on this link. So this link, you get one chance. And with that one chance, you've really got to make it count. So right now, it's just taking you to her website. And with that, that's great, but we really want to lead people along a path. So I recommend a website called Linktree. And I'm going to put that in the comments if you guys want to go there. And with Linktree, it won't let me post that, so let me try one more time. I don't know if that went through to you guys or not, but Linktree, linktr.ee. With Linktree, you can come in and create a number of links rather than just one. And so you can get a free account and have a number of links. With a paid account, which is like $7 a month, then you can have, you know, this totally customized, and it won't have Linktree at the bottom. It's totally up to you. I don't know that it makes any difference to me as a buyer to come in and see this versus this, maybe with your logo. To me, I don't really care, but if you want to go for the pro version, you can. There's some settings that you can change. You can get different backgrounds, various things. This is kind of their standard. Becky and Paula sell luxury homes in Fountain Hills and other places. And so we're going to show that off by using the color black. And it also shows their profile and their information here. And then when people click on these links, they will be taken out to various places. They're going to be taken to their website. They're going to be able to contact them. They're going to be able to view their latest listing. Yeah, you've probably seen people use this and wondered, how the heck do they do that? This is how. So Linktree is the site. And we're going to add one new button because they just got another listing, and we want to highlight that. So Becky sent that to me this morning. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Right here. They've got another listing here in Scottsdale, and it's a great one to highlight. And it is, let's see, we're going to call it luxury. So really be careful with that. And then you can move these around however you want. This is kind of their top priority to get this one sold in Fountain Hills. And then this one's next. And then visit our website and contact us. So once you have that, then you're going to come up here and you can copy the link to the clipboard and then come in to your profile and change the website. We're going to change that here. They've still got brand recognition because it shows Becky and Paula sell homes, but we're going to submit that and then we'll show you the difference. It's done. And so now when people click on that link, they're going to be taken out. Let's see, it might not be updated quite yet. We'll update it. No. Profile saved. We're going to update. We can also link that to your Facebook. Yes, I will add that link for you, Becky. So here we go, and we could have follow us on Facebook as the next link. So we will copy their link here and add one more new button. And there we go. It has to be a usable link. They check that, and when it goes green, you're good to go. I'm going to move that down, probably down to the bottom. And it's all saved, and we should be good here. Let's just update it and double check it to test. Follow us on Facebook. So all of these links now go out somewhere instead of just to one website, which makes it really helpful when you do have more going on. And you can change these at any time. You can update them, and as you have a class that you're trying to sell, you can have that listed. All kinds of things. Yeah, you can have all kinds of things. So Amanda, yes, with your Instagram, you definitely want it geared more towards your products. Not so much yourself per se, but highlight making something, highlight a product that's available or things like that. You should really follow some of the fashion bloggers and people like that to see what they're doing and how they're placing products and showing products. But then you could have a link like this out to various things. Buy our products on Etsy, buy our products on our website, all kinds of things where people can find where to get those cute things that you make. But really, yeah, Instagram should be geared towards your product side. All right, so I think we're set on this. The only other thing I want to talk to you guys about is who you follow. Make sure you follow people that may follow you back. And also, when people comment on your posts, make sure you reply to their comments. So let me show you Anna with Love. She was at the 90-day year program, and she has built a huge following based on this principle that I'm going to tell you about. So anytime someone will comment on her picture, she will come and she will thank them every single time. And as you can see, she gets a lot of comments and she gets a lot of interaction. But every single time she will come back and comment. And she said she's been able to build her following by actually caring about her followers. She runs contests every now and then. She runs combined collaborations with people for different services. They just gave away a web design giveaway that she collaborated with. And so because she actually cares about her followers, she has a really good following and people actually want to interact with her brand. So be really careful about that. Don't ignore your followers. If you have Facebook pages for business on your phone, you can see anytime people make comments on your Facebook or Instagram and reply right from that or within your business messenger. So I will show you that in just a second as well. But I think we're ready to move on from Instagram. So with Facebook, there's a lot to cover, and I hope we have plenty of time. I want you guys first to go to your settings. And in your settings, there's a lot of information that when you're setting up your page, you don't always pay attention to. So with your settings in Facebook, you're obviously published. That's one of the first things. And the second thing is, if you're a business, make sure you have a page verification. And there's a reason why. So what's it telling me? Verified pages show up higher in search results. If you guys are not on your Facebook page and looking at settings and seeing if your page is verified, do it now. If it's not, verify it. It takes about 10 seconds to do. It's not very long. Becky, if you're still on, I would like to actually go and verify your page for you. And if you'll send me the code, that would be great. And you can just text that to me when you have it, okay? They're gonna actually call you and you're gonna have to write this number down. So it's just a 4-digit number, and once it's verified, you're done. You don't have to worry about it again. This code won't make a difference, but you do need to verify your page if you wanna get higher up in the searches. It's crazy that they don't just do this automatically, but they wanna make sure real businesses are putting up these pages, not just the average Joe. Okay, so I'm going to send that to Becky now, and if she'll send that back to me, they should be calling you from a number. Usually it's in California. Then we can verify your page, because that will help you show up higher in the rankings. Facebook wants people to be verified, so go ahead and do that. And then while I'm waiting for that from Becky, I am going to show you some other things. When you guys go to your main page, there's a lot of things that have changed recently. You can now do a video up here in your slideshow. Thank you, Becky. And she's all set. She's verified now. So she's going to start to show up higher in the rankings. That's a great thing. So on your cover page, you can do videos now. You can do a slideshow, and that's what Becky has right now. But honestly, guys, a slideshow, most people aren't going to notice these little gray buttons, and they aren't going to slide through. So I really recommend, if you are going to have more than just one picture here, to actually put a video in instead. And I'm going to get that started uploading. So I built a PowerPoint video for Becky and Paula. It was really simple to do, and I will send you guys the dimensions of that towards the end if you want to build one yourself. Just make sure that you adjust the size and make sure wording isn't too far to the right, to the left, top, or bottom. You really need to kind of keep it in the middle so that it doesn't get cropped out. So Amanda, something that might not work is if your about us information isn't updated, and we'll go through that today. Make sure that that phone number is associated with your business. So I think that's what you're talking about, and just make sure that everything is updated as much as possible. So I'm gonna continue letting this go. I just built a video with transitions from PowerPoint for this video, but it really highlights what she's trying to show in these pictures. But instead of people having to click, it's going to automatically go. And this is going to capture people's eye way better than a still photo does. So that's something important to think about as you're doing your cover photo. You want something that's going to stand out. So that could take a bit. So we're gonna come back here and we'll slide back over in a second. You want to go through all of these and see if you want to change the settings. Visitor post. Do you want anybody to be able to post on your page? Possibly. You don't want people to feel like they can't interact with you, so that's important. You can optimize your audience. So if you only wanted your stuff to show to people in Arizona, you could do that. If you want to only show to people in a certain region, you can do that, which can be really cool. Messages. You can allow people to interact with you privately if you want, or you can not. It's totally up to you. You can allow people to tag you in photos, and I would recommend that you keep that on, because when people, tag your business, that can be a good thing. Just check your tags frequently to make sure people haven't tagged you with anything inappropriate. So if they have, remove those tags if you don't want it to show up. It's really pretty simple. You can turn on a profanity filter. If you have an audience that you want profanity filtered out, you can do that as well. Other than that, there's not a whole lot of settings you need to worry about here. But over on the side here, you'll want to go to messaging. So with messaging, this is instant messages that get sent to customers. So you can prompt visitors to send messages when they go to your page. It will pop up a little thing, and let's see if it'll do it on this one. I might have to refresh. So with this page, often Messenger will pop up and say, hey, do you want to send us a message? And it doesn't look like it's doing it on this one. And maybe her settings aren't set right for that. So if you want to prompt visitors, make sure that's turned on. If you want to help people start a conversation, make sure that's turned on. And with that, you can choose some of the questions that are showing. The questions are based on your industry that you chose when you set up your account. So these are some common questions for a service-based business. And so you can turn on or off these messages. On most of these, you want to make sure, what are your payment options? That doesn't really apply to a realtor. Do you have any promotions? Doesn't really apply to a realtor. What areas do you serve? That one definitely does. Can I learn more about your service? Absolutely. Can I get customer service help? Not really. It doesn't really apply. What services do you offer? Can someone call me? What are your hours? I would cancel appointment. These are more like for like a salon. It would be a great idea to have those. How much do your services cost? That doesn't really apply to realtors. People ask that, but it's kind of a set fee. It just depends on the house. And then you can save those and keep going down the list. So response assistant, you can have automatic responses. Thanks for messaging us. We'll try to be as responsive as possible, and we'll get back to you soon. Why would you want to have that on? Because your rating as to how quick you are to reply to messages shows up here. 66% response rate, a day or more to respond. You want to improve that, and by improving that, you can add on this instant reply, which tells people, thanks for messaging us. We'll be as responsible as possible and get back to you soon. That's going to increase your response rate back to people. So definitely have that on. So with mine, with my business page, I'll show you the difference. And that response rate really tells people if I can really depend on you. So mine shows very responsive to messages, 100% response rate, 2 minutes response time. So make sure that that is showing on your page. And by changing your setting here, you're going to improve that response rate. And it wants to tell me everything about my business right now, but we're going to ignore that. stay responsive when you can't get to your computer or phone. Absolutely, you want that on. And this is an auto message, which you can change what it says, but it's going to respond to them. Hi, whoever it is that's messaging you. Thanks for your message. We're not here right now. We'll get back to you soon. You can change that and add a personalization if you want. But that's going to show people you're responsive and let them know, I'm not ignoring you, but I will get back to you soon. So make sure you reply to all your messages. You can also have a greeting so that when it pops up, people will get an auto message from you that shows that you care about them and you want them to actually message you. It takes a lot of guts sometimes for people to actually contact you. So make sure that's on. Follow-up messages. This might be good if you are like a salon or a chiropractor or somebody that you want to have repeat appointments with. Book again. You could turn that on. For a realtor, that doesn't really make that much sense right now. So we're going to leave those on. And Becky, if you want to change any of the messages, you can, but these are the auto messages right now. All right. And then editing the page. So you can add different tabs depending on what template you've chosen. So make sure you've got the template that's going to make the most sense for you. Okay. Let's go back real quick and see if this video is finished. It takes forever to upload a video. So we'll keep checking back on that. You can move these tabs around to make the most sense to you. We've got the reviews top center because we want people to know what a great experience it is to be working with them. We've got the about us next and services next, and photos and videos as we go down. So you can change those. You can also turn them on or off here, whatever you choose. You don't have to keep the standard ones that Facebook sets up for you, okay? So make sure those make sense. Let me see, page roles. I'm just gonna give you a quick overview. I would definitely recommend you always have 2 admins on your site because you don't want somebody to hijack your account and you not being able to get to your business account. So make sure that you do have 2 admins at all times. If it's your mom, if it's your spouse, if it's a good friend, make sure you can trust that friend or that mom or whoever, but always have 2 admins because that will help alleviate any problems if you were to get locked out. All right. And then Instagram. You can change your Instagram information right from here on Facebook now. So if you wanted to edit it, you can. It's really simple to do. Another thing that we need to do for Becky and Paula is update their address. And let me just get that real quick. They moved to a different building, and so make sure all of your information is 100% up to date. All right. So she's back up to date there. Cross-posting. Cross-posting is something that I would have you consider if you work in an industry, especially like Becky or Daniel. You could even do this with other pianists. So with this, you can have the ability, if you want to post somebody else's content onto your site or they want to post some of your content onto their site, it looks native. It means it looks like they actually posted it, not just shared it. And often things that aren't shared get higher views than a share. So keep that in mind. You would just add their Facebook URL and they have to approve you, and then they would have to want to cross post back with you. But that's a great option for especially realtors where you might have 5 agents in your office and you guys can share back and forth different listings that you have to get exposure. Payments. Amanda, this one's for you. So if you want to sell anything on your Facebook page, have a store or something like that, make sure you have one of these options set up so people can check out right on Facebook rather than being taken somewhere else. I really recommend you do that. I think that is everything for this portion. So the next part we're going to actually come here to their Facebook page. And that is just taking forever. So we're going to come to their Facebook page and click on the About Us section. And when you click on the About Us section, that's everything that's going to show to a person. And the biggest thing is you need to make sure that every single detail is filled in as best as you can. When people are coming to learn about you, they want to be able to find the information. They want to make sure the links work. So many times I've gone to people's Facebook profile pages and About Us pages, and the links take you nowhere, and they don't have any information. And to me, that shows me they're not a legitimate business. So if you want to be taken seriously as a legitimate business, make sure everything here is updated. So we're going to start here by editing the page. And we're going to fix her address because that is not correct. And some of you probably work from home, and so you might not show an address. That's okay. But make sure your phone number, your any additional links are set up. Make sure you have an email address or way for people to contact you. Thank you, Becky. Make sure people have a way to contact you so that it makes sense. Otherwise, if they can't ever contact you except for through Facebook, you're going to lose some business. So I was doing a training a while back, and 80% of people go online to research your company now before they even contact you. So they're doing a lot of research, and they're going to look at things like your Facebook pages, like your website, all kinds of things that they are going to make sure you have this up to date. Let me update that and see if it completed. There we go. Okay, that's set up. And as we go down, I just want to make sure it's showing in the right area. It looks like we're good. We're going to come down here. Again, her username doesn't match, and she's going to change that next time she gets new business cards. So it is Becky and Paula Sell Homes. But that's where you can change that. Just click edit if you've got a different name than you did on a different platform. And then we're going to come down and edit other accounts. So you can add your Instagram accounts here. And yeah, so I think actually we can just do this. So that people can click right out to their Instagram profile. So there's a lot more that you can add. You can add multiple, however many you want. You can do Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube. Becky, if you know your YouTube channel, we can add that. I can't remember what that was, but you can add as many as you want there to link out. Make sure you have an about section here, something at least a couple sentences. And here, this is really only if you're in Austria or Germany. It's required by law to state the ownership and who owns the business. If you were a restaurant, you could add a menu, you could upload a PDF, which would be really cool. And you could link out to your website menu if you wanted to. Let's check that. YouTube. I'm not seeing it, but Becky, if you can find the link, just put it in the comments and we'll add that in. She does show that she's a local service and a real estate agent. Make sure that is actually correct. And that's usually when you're setting up your page. Also, if you have more than just yourself, make sure those team members add themselves as team members. This gives you more credibility because you have more people on your team. And make sure you have a story. So many people do not have a story. She's got a story here. That's great. They've got a story. That's great. Let's see who else. He doesn't have a story. He's got a lot of followers, not as much interaction as some of those others that really give you more detail on their businesses. So make sure you have a story. And Becky and Paula have a really short one here, but we want to update that. We want it to show a lot more information. And so I've come up with a story and they approved it. So I am going to copy and paste that over for you guys. And the thing about your story is search engines are going to be able to search that and pull you up in the searches. If you don't have any of your keywords, like the same keywords as you would have on your website, people can't find you. So make sure you have some type of story. We've talked about real estate again and again, real estate license. We talk about working in Arizona. We talk about luxury listing specialists, looking to buy or sell in Arizona. Those types of things are important to stuff with keywords, not stuff in a sleazy, spammy way, but stuff in a way that makes sense and makes it go through and look good. Becky, if you can't get that to go through here on the comment, you could send it to me through Facebook Messenger as well, and we can add that. So just make sure there's enough story there. And we are going to put a title here. We're going to put Arizona. Because again, Arizona real estate is a keyword. We want to show that. Okay, so we're going to publish that. So if you guys don't have a story, sit down and write one today. It's going to take you about 15-20 minutes. If you want a really good story, have somebody else write it for you. Because when you start to write it, you think of like 2 or 3 things and you'll end up with like 3 or 4 sentences. But if you will talk to somebody else for 10 or 15 minutes about your business, how you got started and whatnot, they can generally write a story for you fairly quickly that will really show things off. So let me add this here. And it looks like, Becky, you could probably come in and change this name to be branded to you if you wanted to. I think that's what it is. Nope. We'll just put the whole link in. And that's not quite right. So I will keep working on that, Becky. I'm going to remove that for now and figure out what the actual thing is, okay? But make sure everything has some information for you. And that's going to make a big difference on whether people come to your site and actually look at things and seek you out, because they're coming to research you when they come to your business page. They want to find out more information. If they come here and you don't have information, or it doesn't go where it needs to go, it doesn't give them enough information to feel comfortable calling you, they're not even going to get to the call. Okay. I'm thinking it didn't like that I was doing other things. So I'm going to try this part one more time here. So from your cover photo, you can change it. We're going to upload. And Wait for that video to upload. It's going to encode. It's going to take a little bit. One thing to think about with your cover pages is you want to make sure they're the right dimensions. If you have them too small, they're going to look blurry when they're blown up. If you have them too big, writing might get cut off. You really need to leave an inch or two on each side with no wording. Otherwise, that could get cut off on mobile. So you need to have it mobile optimized. And I forgot to share this link with you guys before, but if you would like, you can go to this site, and let me see if it'll let me share. I don't know if it will. Yes. So if you go to that website, you can sign up for my newsletter, and from that newsletter, you're going to be able to download all these tips for you. So as you can see, here's this video. It's uploaded, and you can drag it up or down, and you just need to make sure that the information looks good, and it's got kind of a glitch until you've really fully uploaded it, but I have tested it and it looks good. Otherwise, I just want to make sure that the last picture in there is centered better. Okay, perfect. We're going to move that just slightly so Becky doesn't get cut off. And we're going to publish that. So this cover now as a video is really going to catch people's eye as they come to their site. Instead of somebody having to scroll, they're going to be able to just see this listing, and it's really going to draw their eye to that listing. Another thing to think about is the buttons that you have here. You can have different buttons, and your buttons depend on your audience. What would they be most likely to do? For Becky and Paula, usually people will call a realtor, but sometimes you might consider doing just a message. So I know, like with Mike Sherrod, he just has send message, because when people are on Facebook, they're more likely to send a message than maybe making a call. So consider that. Consider if you could add both, do that. And then one of the last things I want to go over with you guys is if you ever wonder what your site looks like to other people, you know, how are my viewers seeing it when they come to my page? You're going to come here to these three dots, ... and you're going to view as page visitor. Amanda, for that video, I used PowerPoint actually, with just still pictures. You could do a live video as well in say Filmora or something like that. Just make sure again that your writing doesn't get cropped out, that you don't put a logo too far. This is optimized so that when it's on a mobile as well, it's going to look good, because on a mobile, this gets shrunk down. Some of the sides get cut off, and it grows taller. So I will send you guys a link to a template for that after this, but that's how you can do it. So this is how your page is going to look to people now. We've got her reviews first, front and center. People can come and go there. I've used Becky and Paula for a number of transactions, and they're awesome. So if you're ever looking for real estate here, definitely look them up. But that's what it's going to look like, and people are going to see those things. All right. And then the last thing I want to go over with you guys is insights. So social media, again, it's not about vanity. It's not about how many followers you have. It's about how many people are actually interacting with your site. And I think that's the most important thing to think about. So I'm going to refresh this and see if I can't get back. So insights is where you want to go to see your interaction. So it's going to show you a week, and it's going to show you organic versus paid. It's going to show you page views, previews, how many people have liked your page, how much reach you're actually getting. So you need to pay attention to that. Oh, I'm down. What did I do this week that I didn't, that I did last, what didn't I do this week that I did last week? Did people like my post? Did they not like my post? Was there engagement or not? So they had a lot of post engagement this week, which is up a ton. So they need to look at those kinds of things. Their reach was down, but engagement was up. So that's a good thing. So consider all of these insights and factors. You can also look at promotions that you run and see what's done well and what hasn't. You can look at your most recent post and see what was useful. This video of Paula in the shower at a listing was totally a winner. The organic reach was huge. 280 people post clicks, 174 people actually interacted, and they had 79 reactions. So comments, shares, things like that. That's what you want to be tracking, not how many followers you have. How much interaction are you getting? And then there's another feature that I want you guys to consider is pages to watch. So this is where the tools really come in. This is something that if you don't know about, you need to do. So Becky told me a few of her competitors that she really likes to follow and see what they do. And so we are going to put them in here. So she can see what are they doing differently. Are they doing something better than I am? Let me see. What are they doing on their pages to get interaction? And you're looking not because you think, oh, they're successful. You want to see if they really have interaction. This is decent for a business page. She doesn't have a huge following, but she at least had 12 people like it. She has 17 people like it. You don't want to follow a page that has a bunch of people that like the page but no interaction. So they're not getting interaction. They're not the people to follow. Look for people to follow that have interaction on their sites, because that will tell you what you can do. So he has 1,600 people, 17 reviews, not a lot of interaction. So you don't want to follow somebody that doesn't have good interaction on their site. They're not getting good stuff. So I wouldn't follow him to see what he does. Let's go to this one and look at it. So he had 21,000 views, 76 shares. You definitely want to follow and see what he's doing. He has 10,000 people following him, so that helps. But he's getting interaction still, so that's important. So we are going to continue to follow him. But by doing this here, you can track things a little bit more. All right, and Twins & Co. Make sure you are following the right business pages. So this looks like a business page, and this is a big no-no, people. It looks like a business page that was set up for this company, but they started one and didn't ever do anything with it. So if you have multiple pages out there that aren't really functioning businesses, get rid of them. Because if somebody landed on this, they would think, what a joke. But really, this is the company that they were trying to find. And this Facebook page does show them pretty well. So keep that in mind, but you don't want to have multiples, and make sure you're following the right pages. They have really good interaction as well. And they have 1,600 followers. So that's really important, because their stuff is getting as much exposure as this guy who has 10,000 followers. So look for people to follow that have good interaction. One of these others, you want to follow the right one, and if you have multiple, get rid of them. And then Sarah Johnson, let's look at her. She has 18 likes here. She's got 900 followers. That's pretty good interaction for me to see. 14 likes, some shares, different things like that. She's got some interaction. So see what they've got going on. And we'll follow that one. Okay, and they want us to find one more. Let's see. We're just going to follow this one for now. I think you can change it later, Becky, if you want to. Or let's follow Shanna Day. So what Becky can do now is look and see what these people are doing. They're seeing what engagement they had. Oh my gosh, they had 190 engagement this week. What did they do? And so you come and you can see their top posts. You can see what was engaging. You know, if you see a pattern, you can mimic it and see what's working for them or not. And mimic it, but don't copy it completely. Mimic what is getting interaction. So I've seen with a lot of real estate agents, actually talking about your agents rather than always showing properties has a lot more engagement. Your videos with Paula have a lot more engagement than just a picture about an available property. So they just showed a picture of makeovers and that had good engagement and people actually commenting. So check and look at those kinds of things and see how you can incorporate that into your business. But that's going to be a valuable tool for you to see what they're doing and what you might be able to do to help get more engagement on your site. So I think we're done for the day, guys. If you have any last questions, go ahead and ask those in the comments below. But I hope you've learned something from this that you can take and apply to your business. It's really gonna help you be able to increase your social media presence. It's going to help you increase your brand awareness, and people are going to be able to interact with you more because you are giving a more united front. You're giving them more to see, and that's the ultimate goal is that brand awareness and interaction with your customers, not just vanity numbers. So again, if you guys have any questions, I'll wait for just a couple more minutes. But if you have specifics, let me know. Amanda, you had a question about PowerPoint. I will go ahead and make a template for you as far as the sizes go, and you can use that if you want. But that's really simple to do. And then I think everything else is good. I do recommend, if you're a service business, get on LinkedIn, fill out all the information just like we did on Facebook. Use your ability to fill in as much information as you possibly can. Make sure on LinkedIn that you actually have a professional picture, and those pictures are very interesting. I'll be doing a post about that later this week. You know, the angle of your face, the smile on your face, all those things have an influence on LinkedIn as to whether people take you as a serious person or an influencer, or whether you're likable. And what you need to find is how to get both with your pictures. And so I have a post about that coming up this week. Becky, your question, how can we increase the number of people that follow our page? Well, there's the couple ways. You can either pay for likes. You could run an ad to be able to do that. When you run an ad, you really want to make sure that it's targeted to the Phoenix market, maybe even just the Maricopa area of Phoenix. You could choose actual cities. You could choose zip codes if you wanted to get more followers in that area, which would be really helpful. And then the other way is just asking friends and family to share. It takes interacting with other businesses. It takes interacting with people, and also comment. If anybody sees your post because it got shared on a personal page, comment and say thanks for liking your post. We'd be happy to follow you along. Anytime that somebody makes a comment on any of your social media sites, make sure you comment and reply to those. That builds that loyalty and that trust, and people will start to follow you. But the best and easiest way for you, Becky, is probably a couple cheap ads. With Facebook, you can get 100, 200 likes by spending $5 to $20. Just depends on your market, and since you would be keeping it so local and such a small area of the Maricopa County or Pinal County, Maricopa County area, you would be able to really target a lot of people. So I hope you guys have enjoyed that, learned some good things, and I'm excited to see what you guys do to change your Facebook and Instagram pages. I'm going to go check them out and see what you guys have up your sleeves and see if you've been able to improve them. Hope you all have a great day, and can't wait to talk to you again.